have a good compound. They can gatekeep the players of Against I8, but the aggression which Against I8 is bringing today, I don't think ISC can stand tall
Hello,
against
hello,
them.
hello, hello.
You never
Welcome,
know.
welcome,
I mean,
welcome.
I'd say they've changed their
Late हो
playing
गया आज
ways.
थोड़ा.
Right now, look at Demo. That grenade
मैंने
was
कल
quite
के
lethal. Played
दो
in
मैच
IQ,
बाकी है
sharing quite some damage as
चल ही रहा
Godless
मेरा
from
वाला.
the other direction. Lobs one at Falak.
उसके बाद
But I
दो
think
मैच और
it kind of
Day
misses
3 का
from
start
miles
करते हैं ना.
afar as wow.
जो भी नया होगा
That
भाई,
was a
please
spray for the stars. Instantly connecting as Blade falls
अभी
down.
just आए हूँ,
That's a
आते ही
beautiful
start
trade
किया.
coming in
मुझे dinner
by
भी करना है,
Godless.
सब कुछ करना
As
है.
now Aegon I8
साथ-साथ
and
देखते-देखते
ISC
करेंगे
just
सारे
exchanging blows after blows as
ISC
Ziol
खेल रही
will
है,
get the
but
confirmation
दो ही
on
बंदे बचे हैं
Blade
ISC के.
as they are the ones to make it
Godless को
inside
भी
the circle. And Bapatex, hold on. They were pretty
Quantum Rage
silent throughout this game
इसमें
and suddenly
इसमें
they
निकाल
might have a
दीजिए
good
कोई.
chance
नहीं,
in taking
अच्छे
this
वाले
one.
भी kills इनके ही
ISC
हैं.
have taken a big risk. They have
Yeah,
deployed
you can-
Alex on a flank angle who's going to solo
Yeah,
hold a
quality
compound.
को दे रहा
Now
है.
this could
Nice.
work two ways. Right, if things work in the ways of ISC, this could be the chicken dinner that they're longing for. But considering how consistent Mabitex has been, I don't think they're gonna succumb to a 1v4.
मैंने अभी चैट वाला भी नहीं खोला.
Alex
रुको,
just
laptop
all by
चलाता हूँ,
himself
एक
holding
second.
on to the compound like you said, and Maptex might look potential control over these compounds sooner or later, but right now they are scouting the area and Alex is very well aware of the position of Maptex Esports, but Quantum Rage having their eyes set onto the plus of Leo Esports where one player gets hefty damage, Slipknot gets taken down and Liquid! Oh, he takes hefty damage from Halsey over there. The confirmation point has already been made and Leo Esports in a desperate measure to move inside the circle lose their life against the players of Quantum Rage.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do in that situation, right? Especially when you're Leo, you know that Quantum Rage, they're just clinging on to their windows like Alex is at this point, and you step out of your cover, and they're there to greet you with all those bullets. But considering current, status quo of this game, I think I kind of fancy Mabitex Esports' chance as well. I've been talking a lot about it, but the next circle shift, it's gonna kind of give us a vivid picture of what is really going to happen. It could be Quantum Rage. I mean, for INC, they've taken a huge gamble. If that pays off, and then
Quantum
they
Rage
might
का
also
match
get a chicken dinner. But in this trifecta, the 4v4v3 situation, anybody could just emerge out as the winner.
Certainly, but right now Maptex, they are in the crosshairs of ISC as well, but Alex gets taken down out in the open, gets punished, but Ziol and Godless are trying to provide the necessary cover fire, but in vain. Their position has also been compromised and looks like you said, this is a game for Maptex to lose. They're looking so very confident right now. Even Quantum Rage, they can also grab this one in their pockets. They have a good compound. It all comes down to where the next circle is going to shift as Tanatan is keeping a close eye onto Godless and Godless gets taken down. Perfect spray comes in from the side of Tanatan.
Yeah, Tantan is absolutely feeding it, and I think even in the first games, Quantum Rage, they were causing so much mischief in the server. But this one, they can actually get this in the bag as there you can see Halsey and Tantan already committing for that push as INC get dealt with. But Halsey and Tantan now, this is a certain change of events. Because they've delved into it and seems like Mabitex are going to be capitalizing on the situation as just the last player survives. It is going to be Goku helplessly asking for help, but no, Mabitex showing no mercy as they get one in the bag. Long time coming and they deliver, getting that winner chicken dinner.
They are on
the crosses of high voltage DC, but somehow Haidami survived.
That's going to be an interesting call. Assassin, good amount of spray, but no way he missed all those bullets. That should have been his pick, but he lost the chance. He lost an opportunity. Shadow, do you really think that will high voltage just initiate another fight? Leo Esports already in bad position and they are making things more difficult for them. But they have to make sure that they are in a safer spot. Liquid, I think behind those tanks heading behind those water treatment plants, but will he survive? That's going to be the question. Slipknot is trying to, get some or create some backup for his teammate, but for now, not at all. TUF struggling, losing out, falling apart. But this is still, a chance to step up and perform, because you lost 2 of your players, right? 50% of your firepower is still there. You can still do it. You can still get something out of it. You can still perform well. The only thing is stopping you is yourself. But let's see for how long we can get punished, for how long we can survive, and let's wait for that. We have to wait for the result. Meanwhile, Noki knocks out Nova from the lobby and got a vehicle elimination for himself. Another individual lost. This is not a good sign, because the zone is getting very close. Teams are also getting close to each other. But the result is still same. Teams are losing out those individuals. We haven't witnessed a single team fight, Shadow. A complete team fight. Teams are going for those fights, but those are kind of one-sided. And look at this fight. Again, another one-sided fight, because it's a 3v1 push in which Viper needs to step up. Will he? Falls down to only 50% of the FP. Switch to an M4. Knocks down one player, but got punished right away.
Well, Blade, he has to go for the revival onto Falak and Againix IA. They do have a good compound to hold on to, but Reggie's side and IHC, they are fighting against each other on the eastern periphery, and looks like Reggie's side, they are not looking very good. The knocks are coming in, and IQ with the mini gets a confirmation point onto Noki as well. Reggie said they really need to step up their gameplay, because this team is known for their aggression. But wait a minute, TUF with the vehicle explosion, Stalwarts, they eliminated the entire team.
Oh, that was drink in the armor, and Starwood just forgot that. TUF, they were alive at movement, and Starwood were like, you know what? We finished off your 2 of your players. We're gonna wipe out your whole team. And they actually did that. On the other side, we can see another Mongolian giant stepping up into the battle. That's it. That is Team IHC. Godless on the high edge, spraying down bullets onto Vaz. But Vaz was fast like an eagle. No way, that was a close call. Roshan survived the barrage of those bullets by Godless. This man is just built different. Despite the fact he wasn't comfortable in that fight, he still opted for engaging in that, and he somehow managed to force out the team to just fall back. And now Alex, surrounded by the players of Aegon I8.
Alex, he needs to bring some opening towards the side of Aegonix I8, but maybe he's not interested in initiating this fight because his teammates are a bit far away. On the other side, Alex, the smokes are not helping him. Blade still trying relentlessly to bring a knock onto Alex, but Aegonix I8 directly rushing towards the side of IHC. Up close frontal battle, a 3v3 fight is going to happen. The grenades are being flung over from both the direction, but no connection whatsoever. Alex and Zoil are on low HP, and Uzm along with Blade might be looking for a lower bridge flank angle. But Aegonix I8 still looking very confident. A 4v4 fight. And IQ with the vehicle is trying to lure the players of IHC out in the open, and Demo does the same mistake, gets punished instantly by IQ. The confirmation is there, and now IHC left with only 3 players.
Oh no, IHC. Just because of that overcommitment, they lost one of their man, and now they have to fight with 3-man lineup for now. But to be honest, it's still scary. It doesn't matter how many players IHC has. The competition, the firepower remains similar. And look at that, Godless got an opening. Knocks out a player of Aegon 8. This is what they wanted, but he bought a lot of time for his teammate. IQ might get a revival a bit early than we expected, and yes, he will. The only problem that Team I8 will suffer is going to be the zone rotation. They will be able to allow to move inside the circle, or they'll get denied by the players of IHC. We're talking about denial. Look at the players of Leo falling down like dominoes, losing out players, and now it's only one-man army, Leo Esports, in a whole
can also do a third party. They can chime in. Advantage, 3 finishes already in their favor. I love what againx i8 are doing, the way they are amping up their aggression this time. But Zeol comes in and finds Blade with that M416. This is a very crucial knock onto the players of againx i8, and Godless with the grenade might be looking for another one, or maybe a confirmation Falak on a very sliver of HP. But Zoel, he needs to find a safe cover for himself, because from the back lines, a team is also doing a third party. Could be the players of T2K.
Oh, T2K, they are also surrounded by enemies, and they are doing the same vice versa for them. High Voltage on the other side found themselves on the receiving edge against the players of Starwood Esports, putting a lot of pressure onto them, and they are just annihilating their hopes. Meanwhile, 7-Element also chip in to create havoc against the players of High Voltage. Now there's only 2-man players, 2-man army. Prabeam also goes down by accident, but there's a different fight going here. IHC versus againx i8. Falak secures a knock, and that's a huge one. Cordless is out. It all comes down to Alex with 1 HP. Falak charging onto him. He needs some time. He got it. Twitch when UMP not survive. He will not survive. IHC falls apart. Got took. Taken down by the players of againx i8. Playing like demons. Thrashing like butchers.
But it's still not over. T2K, they heard the commotion and they're ready for this fight. They know the players of againx i8 are outnumbered in this fight. From the backlines under the supervision of Rick, they are rushing onto the compounds. The grenades are being flung over to get the location, to know where exactly the players of againx i8 are. But look at that, they're not giving any sound cue. Just perfect crossfire that has been set up, but Sandesh has a vague idea where the players could be. Despite the grenade coming in the direction, againx i8, look at them. Perfect crossfire by all the 3 players. You can't breach this crossfire alive. And againx i8 was also trying to retaliate with the same grenade to find some opening onto the players of T2K Esports. Now T2K knows exactly where the players are. It's a battle of the grenades, but no single connection whatsoever.
Oh my god, Sandesh! An overcooked grenade. Who let this man cook? He falls apart, but Suyog thought that he can survive. He will not. T2K, what they have done? And againx i8 won another fight. It seems like this team is unstoppable. The players are unbreakable, and they are made up of steel. againx i8 securing 8 total eliminations, the highest in this lobby. And still standing strong. But the bad part is Shadow. They are not favored by the zone. Tenatan can change the momentum. He can change the opportunities what againx i8 was looking for. One of their man again falls down. He is looking out for another in Tenatan. Another man served on the course, Mia.
againx i8, up until they were the extremely terminators in the lobby, but now they're falling apart one after another, and Tanatan Mini gets 1 confirmation point as well. againx i8, now they are left with only one player, I'm sorry. On the other side, Regicide was at the mercy of the blue, and so is Valley, begging for help, begging for rescue mission, but unfortunately the help won't arrive. And Regicide, they still have to move inside the circle. And look at the position of Maptrix Esports. They can easily gatekeep the players, but they don't have the perfect armor. Roshan with a vehicle making a hasty entry inside the circle. Might get punished by Leona, and certainly does get punished. Along with that, Buddy is the last man standing. But againx i8, they have been eliminated on the element spot.
Oh, a sad exit. Sad exit for them. But you know what? We might witness another sad exit, but this time they are going to be the Nepal favorites. TRS up against the players of Magnus, forcing them to bow down against them, and this is not looking good. On the other side, look at that. Yansai finishes off finisher. He is still surviving with the team, and Rules got a revival. Got a revival there. Apologies. Delta on the other side lost his life. It's still a 3v4 situation in which TRS can step up big time. 20 meters away from the circle, Rules collecting and replenishing his loot once again so that he can fight. He can just stand up against the Goliaths fighting right now against those huge players. Those players who build a good amount of momentum for them. Quantum Rage Halsey. Quantum Rage utilizing the house. But the circle will decide, are you going to be inside the circle or not? 2-1. And the zone closed in, favoring the players of NB Esports. And also 4MV. Oh my god, this circle is weird.
100% agreed. NB Esports, they have been extremely blessed with the zone. From the very starting, the rotations that came from their side, the IGL made the perfect rotations this time. On the other side, Quantum Rage, well, from the outside of the safe circle, they're peppering bullets in the direction of Aganex I8, but Magnus then finds Rolls hiding behind that vehicle, instantly knocks him down. The revival won't be coming in, and the confirmation point has been made by 7th Element for all the hard work Magnus Esports Faster did. 7th Element, they are reaping the benefits of the elimination point. Magnus Zen is definitely not going to be happy, but right now, the remaining players of DRS, Magnus Zen is aware about the position, but Maptex, they have also been eliminated, Shivansh.
That's again a bad sign. This is not what I thought, but it's what's going on. And Magnus, oh my god, it seems like they are the Grim Reaper for Team DRS. They became the Grim Reaper here, ripping their heads apart and also forcing them to just go down, go away from them. Quantum Rage can do something which is going to be an unthinkable thing for Magnus, because they can just go for a backstab if they wanted to, and they also have to move inside the circle. So every single move Quantum Rage is going to make will allow Magnus to falter down or to just step up more. But Goku on the other side spots out Zen, burst out his vehicle down.
With a grenade is looking for more. All the utilities, throwables are being flung over to bring down the entirety of MB Esports from the cheeky angle. Tops is trying to take down Fistboy over there, and Stalwarts, they are looking very strong as Fistboy is surviving on a sliver of HP, but not for very long. NB Esports, they were looking very good up until Stalwarts proved to be the fly in the ointment.
No way. Saudi Esports is playing like Starwood. Shadow, 10 total elimination and still not stopping. They lost one of their man, but it doesn't matter. They are still deadly. In between, we can see Formica Vibes still has control of this high ground. Apex peppering down a lot of bullets, none connect. Needs to reposition himself so that he can just do the same thing he was doing in the previous match. But East on the other side got punished. Holy smokes.
Still dominant control. Let's see what finds East. Pepper few bullets. No connection whatsoever. But Faster was not fast enough. And Stalwart Esports stops with a mini. Instantly takes him down. And 7th Element through the pixels. Goku deals hefty damage towards the side of 7th Element. But for now, 7th Element, all they have is a little hay bale for the cover.
Yeah, 7th Element is still there, inside the battle to just do something crazy and do something out of the box. But well, the other team's gonna allow them. That's gonna be the question, and that's what Quantum Rage are denying that. Asha with a spray of his life shuts down the players of Magnus Apex. A beautiful spray by him, but still no result for him yet. 108 bullets in the backpack and 40 in the chamber. Refuse has a grenade. Might lob one. This might, just provide him a success. And yes, it will. Taratin falls down. And he got eliminated as quickly as he can think. Tokusaurus meanwhile falls down by a play zone. And Team 7 Element, including the third element as a third party. Another grenade. What this team is doing. 4MV. Not going for those bullets. Instead going for blowing up the heads.
Oh, Quantum Rage. They are dwindling down. They are falling apart like a pack of dominators. And 4MV, proving to be extreme terminators, have annihilated the entirety of Quantum Rage. Now, 5 teams remaining. And like I said, 4MV is still having a potential dominant control from the northern front. The only player that can be an ugly thorn are the last player of Illuminate crew. That is going to be Sky. For how long he can hide. Survived enough. On the other side, GRS. In a blink of eye, they have been eliminated after getting 4 eliminations. I don't know what's happening wrong with the players of DRS. They need to get back the old confidence. Yes, the strategy is there, but the aggression should also be there. That is completely missing from the side of DRS.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but yeah, we need to find out, or maybe someone need to ask them. But okay, they end up at the 5th position. They have 7 total points. Agona 8, look at that, still has 9 total points because they had secured a lot of total elimination point. But Starwood Esports against the players of 4MB, and 4MB denied another team, and that's going to be I8. End up in eliminated through, by the way, apologies. End up at the 4th position. 4 Miracle Wives! They need a miracle now. Kazakhstan, he steps up. A grenade on the face.
4 Mega Warriors, sorry, 4
He is the idea, and he got taken down, but refused. The spray was perfect. The result was astonishing, but the answer was heartbreaking because Drop stole that kill.
Day 2 में भी अच्छा निकाला पॉइंट्स फर्स्ट डे 1 में तो किया डाउन
7th element, desperate measures are coming in to move inside the circle, and that is where Stalwarts are capitalizing as they take down one player. Now T24 OP is the only man standing, having just few hay bales for the cover. Not enough. Stalwarts, they are picking fight with the players of 4MB as well. And Apex right in the crosshairs of T24 OP as well. 4MB, they were looking good. But now Apex has to go for the rescue mission onto the fallen comrade, and Stalwarts, they're raining death and destruction. They're finding traits here and there. 14 defeat points already in their pockets.
Looking out for some more. Just want to build up the stack and just want to build up the bank. 7th element. T24 just waiting for the opponents to feed him, waiting for his chance to roar. But Nazeed has an eye on him. He needs to be careful, otherwise he might face his death. Apex also hiding behind those hay bales. T24 spots him out, denies the left-hand angle, and Mini 14 is the answer. Nazeed with the grenade, I think so this is it. Apex might go down, but he still survives. T24 also. This is a fight in which Starwood is enjoying the feast. They are enjoying this battle. They are enjoying the movement, Shadow.
Oh, they certainly are. This is their game to lose, and with 4MB out of the equation, it's only one player from the side of 7th element. Shivansh, this is the game for Stalwart Esports.
T24 falls down by the play zone. And yes, Starboard won.
Yes, they definitely won. They got
out other teams, but after a very short. Closer to the player. Yeah, exactly.
Getting the chicken dinner.
T20.
They were taken.
I8 performing.
Spot 4MB, they need a chicken dinner. If they want to retain
where they are. Woofies spots out.
As well, but Quantum Rage have their own troubles because it's good. Yeah, it's good. I'm just going towards me with the DBS. I just hate that weapon. What about you, Shivansh?
I actually like DBS. Because I am pretty weak and spray and pray. So I always think that weapon like DBS allow you to just unleash your true potential, especially in those close range fights, and especially after the meta change. DBS is like a go-to-go weapon. I can say the same thing for S12K, and it is certainly that case. But DBS will allow you to just pump and gun. That's it. Easy kills.
You have not been on the receiving yet. I really want that weapon to get nerfed because the way the players are exploiting DBS right now, especially in Miramars, all the weapons are out of the window. It's just a DBS and an M416 and you're good to go. Every player is just relying on their DBS, even in the final circle, especially the players of Econex IA. The way they were exploiting DBS in Senok, that was crazy.
That's why, we can see that how much impactful a weapon can be if it's in the right hands. So, to be honest, Shadow, yeah, I agree with that point. Just need a little bit of nerf, a bit of small changes, but it's still a good weapon. It's balanced for me because once you are aware that how you're gonna use it, you are the best.
Yeah, it all depends how you use it. But right now, it's a pretty slow Erangel as compared to the previous Erangel where we saw two teams getting early elimination. And this time, seventh element, well, they are going for a bridge block. Are the players of 4MV aware of this? If not, maybe they can get punished because seventh element, rarely I've seen them go for the bridge block. Earlier in the SA, it was Team Elementrix that used to go for the bridge block, and Team 4MV always, every time, they were prepared for Elementrix. But are they prepared for seventh element? And 4MV, maybe they already got the information, they spotted down the players. They're opting for the Eastern Bridge from West Talbot Esports. They're already moving ahead, and the circle takes an Eastern shift, heavily favoring the players of NB Esports again.
Yeah. Every single time it's NB Esports who got favored by the PUBG gods. And still they won't be able to secure a second dinner. That's a bad news though. But yeah, they are very close. They are very close, and this might be the one. And two airdrops just alongside each other. That's a dream.
And in the other airdrop, we have an MK14 coming in. On the auto mod, MK14 is one of the most deadly guns in the close range, and TUF Thor might want to go for that. But right now, NB Esports, at this time, it is Quantum Ray showing on the doorsteps, already bringing down their numbers. Gets a confirmation point onto Akaze as well. But Quantum Rays have their own troubles because only two players remaining. Shimansh is just Tanatan and Senior. Goku and Halsey were taken out pretty early in the game. Had Quantum Rage had the numbers in their favor, this might have been a good game for them, but still there is hope. They do have a good position, they do have a good spot, but NB might be looking for a revenge.
Yeah. This revenge might be sweeter. Oh my god, Senior. Look at him. He's with the team, but they have to be careful of their surroundings. Once you are aware of your surroundings, you are the best weapon. You are the best player, right? You just need to make sure that you are safe. But I can't say the same thing for Quantum Range, right? Surrounded by the players of NB Esports. Senior, okay, trying his best, but sometimes you think, Shadow, that you are safe. Sometimes you think that you just done it. You just need one thing which don't allow you to help in that situation, and that's your own expectations.
Certainly,
Yeah.
Quantum Rage, yes, two players are there. NB Esports, they're just scouting the area, they're grabbing information, how many players are there, whether or not they can breach into the compounds, what approach to take. Maybe we can see few throwables, but for now, NB Esports, they are moving under the supervision of Fistboy. And Fistboy from the far off angle can provide so much information. I really hope he has a DMR. But Regicide and Maptex, they're also locking horns with each other, and looks like Maptex, they are not looking good. Left with only one player on the verge of elimination, but perfect grenade from the side of Senior takes on Sek, leaving Mondo all by himself. Fistboy, what can he do from the far off angle? His teammate needs him as soon as possible. There is no time for the revival, and Tanatan, when another follow-up grenade, is looking for one more knock onto Mondo. Mondo has been able to push the delay for some time, but not long enough. He needs Fistboy as soon as possible.
Where is he? Where is he? Where is this boy? I think that's going to be the call out. NB Esports thought they might lose this fight, but Mondo is just tanking a lot of damage. He's still there. Sek is waiting for his life, but Mondo with a beautiful grenade. This is the opening, and we can see the Fist Boys here. Mondo still sticking through the grenade. Lob that, and that was a grenade finish for Mondo. My man is just made different. Look at that. Pixel of his HP, Sadhu. He was surviving on just pixel of his HP. This man is just built different. And Mondo, Fist Boy, first of all, dude, you are a bit late to the party. You are very late, by the way. You're just celebrating what Mondo just did. This was like my, my friends. Whenever I got my salary or maybe something, or maybe the YouTube income, they were like, yeah, Phoenix, let's celebrate. But whenever I'm like, you know what, guys, let's make a video, they were like, yeah, we're not free. Jokes aside, by the way, that was just a joke. But yeah, Mondo handled that fight very perfectly. Nothing taken away from that lad.
Yes, it was very crucial. It was very crucial. Otherwise, NB Esports, there could have been a lot of trouble. But now he saved the life of his teammate. Yes, Akaze was lost to the cause, but still 3 players are there. At the same time, NB Esports, they do have a good position as well inside the circle. And NB Esports, they have played this kind of circle uh, n number of times in PMPL South Asia, so they know how to go for the rotations, and the way they're already having the complete control of the shelter case is a good idea. But Regicide and IHC, Regicide already taking down Alex and Zeol over there, and IHC left with only 2 players. Demo with a grenade knows exactly where Buddy is. The reinforcement is there, and IHC, they are outnumbered in this fight, Shivansh. But Demo is prepared for the rush that is coming in. He takes on Noki over there, takes on the second one as well. Can he take down the third one? Almost. He can take down the third one as well, but his teammate Godless with an M416 is going for the confirmation point onto the fallen teammates. And with that, Regicide, oh, half-baked rush came in from their side, and they paid the price.
Oh, that was a mistake in which Regicide just paid debt, and faced an elimination right away. But Shadow, the best part was IHC. Every single time we can see these individual players performing like rock, playing like a rock, and playing and performing like a horse, just running out in an open area, doesn't care who is in front of them, and just reaching up to its mark. That's perfect. But Eliminate Crew, surrounded by the players of 4MV. If Eliminate Crew eliminates the players of 4MV, this will open up an opportunity for the players of Starboard Esports to rise up from where they are. Woofies spots out, spraying down the bullets onto those vehicles of 4MV. They are escaping their death, and they escaped it pretty smoothly. 200 meters far away from the circle, not that huge number, but they need to be careful because now they have already, to be honest, invited the players of 4MV to just punish them.
Oh, they have Eliminate Crew. They have to make the crucial rotation at this point, and in the process of doing so, maybe they can grab the attention of the players of DRS as well. At the same time, on the low ground, we have the players of Leo Esports, and looks like Sky is aware from the uphill angle. He can do so much damage towards the side of Leo Esports, and Woofies with a vehicle run overtakes down Haithami, but in the trade, he also goes down. Viper also has been taken down. The blind rush that came from the side of Eliminate Crew. 3+ has been lost.
Good, Shadow. This is not good. They have to be careful. Every single move they'll make, it's going to pay them. But they are still there, standing strong. The revival are going on. But the amount of fights, the way these fights are panning out is just ridiculous, right? Never expected this type of domination. The final circle tend to play very slow. Teams tend to play very slow, but right now, teams are getting just annoyed by the way, I think so. Doc needs to be careful. There's a player right in front of him. Doc dodged every single bullet, but Rules with the final few bullets shuts him down. And now he has a grenade. This is time where he can shine. This is the time when he can go big. But he needs a backup. He needs recovery. He needs another frag. Will he be able to get that one? Will the players of 4MB allow him to, stack on those knocks? They will not, but at the end, he's secure. He deserves.
4MV just holding on to the wizard tower, susceptible to those grenades that were coming from the side of DRS Rules, but looks like Rules has run out of the grenades. It's a battle of throwables. Who locks it to the perfection? 4MV is still holding on to the grounds, but DRS have another worry in the name of Aganex I8, and they take down Killer YT. The last player still hiding in the smoke, but for how long? Delta with the DBS takes down one player, Blade. It's still a doable situation, but Delta needs to patch himself up. As he was doing so, IQ comes in. Instantly deals with him, and DRS, after getting a valiant effort and one elimination, bids bye-bye on the 12th spot, and so do the plus of 7th element on to 11th spot. But 4MV, they have to go for the revival. But Shivansh, look at the position of Sandesh.
He has a really good spot. Just he needs to utilize that to its perfection. Action on the other side still has 4 frag grenades in the backpack, using every single one of them, dishing out some chip damage, and they just need to work on it. And Action did that! Bollock Was barely surviving on just river HP, and now he falls down. Played on the other side, repositioned himself. Icy moving forward, and Action not stopping. Now he has a Molotov. Lobbed on front to Falak. But on the other side, Nirzate shuts down Refuse. And 4MV also facing the brunt of the players of Starboard Esports.
Yes, Stalwart's trying for the southern control, but the circle takes a northern shift, and the players of IHC are in a very good spot, and so are the players of Magnus. This can be a good game for both these teams, but Stalwarts, they are busy with the players of Ekenix I8. On the other hand, T2K, they have managed to eliminate the entirety of 4MV. Right on the face of IC, a grenade from Falak takes him down. Nirzate holding on to the visit tower. IC begging for the help. Action also in a retaliation grenade finds Blade. Falak on a sliver of HP. A follow-up grenade is enough to take down Falak as well. Will leave IQ all by himself. But Action is having a second thought whether to back off from the situation or to lob the grenade. He repositions himself, going much closer to the players of Ekenix I. A 2+ already down on IQ. He's trying to lure IQ out of his cover through that vehicle, and he knows exactly where IQ is. But IQ takes down Action over there. The blue is also closing in, and both these teams, they have to hurry up, otherwise the blue will dish out a lot of damage. And Tops is there along with IC. Can he take down IQ? And I think they can, and they certainly do so. And Ekenix I8 also bids bye-bye on the 9th spot.
Oh, that's a bad ending for them. But you know what? It is what it is. Still a team shadow. Ekenix I8 still managed to chip in 3 total points for them before going out. It's a decent ending, right? It's not bad. It's not good, but it's decent. Although can't say the same thing for Team 4MV because they just secured only 3 points. We have seen them performing very well, but they tend to fall apart in the final maps, right? Maybe they get tired, or maybe just their fuel is done. But jokes aside, they're still on the top. But if Starboard secures a chicken here, they can change the fate. One of their players is knocked out, and it seems like T2K just trying to finish him off. And yes, Nirzate is down. Nirzate is out of the lobby now. 25 players left. T2K with total 4 frags. Finisher knocks out Assassin. Will he be able to finish him? Let's find out.
Let's find out. And Starboard Esports, T2K again becoming the ugly thorn, leaving only 2 players. And T2K do have a position advantage onto the players of Starboard Esports. And Break with a Tempo 1-6 spray, trying to take on Tops. The vehicle receives hefty damage, but somehow Tops survived, and so did IC. On the other side, NB Esports and Magnus, they are also locking horns with each other. T2K, yes, they do have a good position inside the circle, but they are hunting, looking for the players of Stalwart. On the other side, we have Magnus and High Voltage also going up against each other, Shivansh.
Yeah, this is a really great fight, and look at the mini-map. Another team trying to join in the party. I think so. You might see one other team just enjoy the blood, but IHC, okay, they have something different in their mind. Magnus, I like how they are just separating these vehicles from the barrage of those grenades and also bullets, because they are an important part of the game. They can just become your source of momentum, and also this your agility, and also can provide you some cover. High voltage players, they are hiding inside those bunkers, healing up, and it's important. And they're talking, I think so. You're like, what's going on? What do you think? What's going to be the result of this map? They're just enjoying, and that's what we wanted, right? This is what we like.
This is what we want. For now, High Voltage DC, they're just patiently waiting, holding on to those cave angles. And if anyone tries to breach into the area, they will try to punish. Leo Esports, yes, they do have a little bit of the ridges and dips to work around with. Maybe they can enjoy the safety net of the next circle as well, because they are somewhat in the center position. So yeah, Leo Esports are also looking very promising. Stalwarts, they don't have the numbers in their favor. NB Esports, this can be a good game for them as well if all the cards are played right. But the question is, with so many teams present on the southern side, Shivansh, how will the players of Stalwart Esports make it inside the circle? Maybe through the eastern side, and looks like that is what in the minds of Stalwarts are, because one player with the vehicle is already looking for the eastern rotation. But they also need to be a bit careful from the players of T2K, because T2K, they were the faster ones.
Yeah. They're very good. They are quick with their decision making, but some teams have already spotted them out. I think so. It's going to be IHC. You're just trying to break the flow of the players of Team Star Esports. But Shadow, Leo, I think so. They are going to be the game changers. What if the circle moves over the northern side? All these teams who are staying towards the southern side, their hopes will get thrashed, and every single thing they're thinking in their mind might get punished.
They might, and so do the players of Starlet Esports can get punished because Leo Esports 3 players are cooking up grenades. If even a single one lobs to the perfection can take down IC over there. Tops is already going for the flank angle, and IC is in a very tricky spot. T2K Esports on the other side already going for the northern rotation. T2K are looking very promising. I love what they are doing, and even the players of IHC, they are being the silent ones, just focusing on their positioning. And Leo Esports Slipknot comes in, takes on action over there, and Top's position has also been compromised with a vehicle explosion. Top's also bids bye-bye, and Starlet Esports, they were struggling with the position, they were struggling with the rotation, the numbers were not in their favor. Finally bids bye-bye on the 8th spot.
Another team lost, and another team takes an exit. 7 teams in the lobby. T2K trying to, just be the Goliaths here. IHC is still in play, but the circle, will this circle allow the teams who are holding towards its bunkers to get this map in their favor? Godless cooking up a grenade. If this lands perfectly, it doesn't affect anyone because NB Esports, they are inside the bunker. Similar thing for high voltage. 20-second Shadow. These 20 seconds are going to be the most crucial one for every single one of them. The grenades which Godless utilized, they are going to dissipate after a few seconds. Slipknot getting his vehicle back onto the ground. 3, 2, 1. And the circle move towards the eastern side, and look at that. This will make things more spicy because now high voltage, they have the height advantage and higher ground.
CO gets taken down, and T2K, they have to keep their numbers alive. Rig might be looking for the revival onto the fallen teammate, but Finisher with those tap-tip shot is going to deny that. So T2K, Rig, I don't think can get a revival anytime soon. And on the southern, western periphery of the circle, so many teams, so many third parties are going to happen. Haidami gets a confirmation point onto CO, but still T2K are looking good. But Jane also goes down. Now they are not looking good. Leo Esports, they are also making so much noise. NB Esports, they are inside the shelter area, playing very safe for all the good reasons. They are aiming for the chicken dinner, and so are the players of high voltage GC. But Slipknot gets a confirmation point onto Jane.
Godless on the side knocks out faster with grenade. He wasn't fast enough to dodge that one. He didn't saw that coming, I think so. But now Godless is looking forward to finish him off, end his misery, and end the game for him. Patrolin not allowed to move forward, not even get closer to his teammate. But look at that, his fallen comrade might get a revive. And yes, that's what's happening. NB Esports working out as a savior. Trollin might give a revival to Faster. IHC Demo looking out to finish off Finisher. They need to be careful, and Demo switch to the UMP. Fire some bullets. Trollin closing in the distance with an AKM. Lost his life. Will he know? Peppered out a lot of bullets to its perfection. Demo instantly stops him. Zen goes down too. So as the team. Magnus. They are done for now.
They are done, and NB Esports, they are not done as they take down the entirety of IHC over there. And finally, NB Esports, they have woken up from their slumber, 5 elimination, and now the next victim are the players of Leo Esports, and Mondo in a close frontal battle is going to lose it, gets taken down, but his teammate Sek comes in, right tick of time, and deals with the players of Leo Esports. Now, Sek going for the revival onto Mondo over there. Leo Esports were looking good around the other side. TUF and high voltage GC Probeen literally is burning, but they have managed to eliminate the threat over there. That was TUF. They can go for the revivals. Fistboy having a good position, and Sandesh in a very tricky spot right now.
This is one of the most wacky circle you can ever expect. Shelter is the hot zone here. And Team High Voltage, they are still inside the bunker. They can revive their teammates because every single one of them is still there. NB Esports with total 6 finishes, then 5 of them goes to Monday. Mondo, apologies. The only thing which NB Sports is going to face is the retaliation from Sandesh. He tried, but falls. Mondo with another 5 in the backpack and 7 for his team. It's a 4v3v2 situation in which Leo, the players are entering inside the circle. High voltage DC already made their way inside the circle, cruising in. But NB Sports, this is the time where they can shine, Shadow. This is the time where they can change the fate. But high voltage, what they are doing, Sek, are you aware of that fact that they are just coming in front of you? You have to be careful. Assassin receives some amount of damage, Shadow. Look at this perfect drone view. Assassin retiling back, and Sek falls down too low. If his HP Assassin falls down, the DBS battle is ruthless. And it's Prabeen who knocks 2 of the players down.
He certainly does, and he's looking for the more. He's looking for the last player of NB Esports, Mondo, on the low ground. He knows exactly where Mondo is, but DBS finally reigns supreme. He takes Mondo over there. NB Esports has been eliminated, but Leo, they did a third party in the right nick of time, leaving Malik and Assassin all by themselves. 2 players already down from this side of high voltage DC, and now Leo Esports, they're rushing towards high voltage. Can they win this one? Malik gets taken down, leaving Assassin all by himself.
This is still a 1-1 close battle now. Liquid with the DBS and also less HP. It doesn't matter. His teammate did it. The way Leo stole that chicken from high voltage and also from the players of NB Esports Shadow. It was just amazing and something weird. 10 elimination onto the players.
Тамирчин шиг буудаж муудчихно.
Хайтамгийн нейдийг хурааж авах хэрэгтэй хамгийн түрүүнд. Slipknot өгчих хэрэгтэй те. NB Sport-ийн мондуудаар Quantum Range-ийн 3 тамирчин ороод ирсэн байгаа. Цаанаас нь Sek нэмэгдэж болоо нэмэгдэжсэн. За Baron pick дээр нэлээд дэмэжлээд оруулчлаа.
Хамгийн гол нь Мондогийн noise reduction дэндүү удаан байна уу гэж анзаарлаа. Sek дээр явж байхдаа Counter
على الفرق ننتظر الزون فالرأيت كان بين وبين لكن كان قرار صحيح جدا أنهم يبقوا في الجسر وينتظرون الزون ويكسبون أيضا من خلالها نقاطا مهمة و5 إقصاءات منذ بداية.
Even the audience is going to get involved, so even they're going to feel a lot much more entertained than they were. I mean, I'm not saying that they were not getting entertained before, but it's just going to be more fun. Moving on forward and taking a look at the overall.
Here in southern side of Pochinki, that is where we can see a first blood being drawn. And for now, Stalwart Esports, they're resorting those vehicles. Finally, they have got a hold of the vehicles. So definitely Stalwarts will be moving towards the side of Novo Ripnoid. That is where they always likes to go. And that could be the reason they always are pretty much loaded. They always have the good resources in their hands. And no one has ever tried to contest Stalwarts or 4MV in their top location.
Exactly. Stalwart Esports currently on the way. That's where they like to go, all the way down south towards their drop location, military base. On the other hand, we've got 4 Miracle Vibes eyeing out the players in the front 70. A shot out in the open. Refuse, unfortunately, he doesn't really have anything in the hand other than a machete. Let's see what he's going to be able to establish from that. He's probably going to try to back off. That's probably the best move you can do. But for 70, it's not a good start. Already losing out on a player early off inside the game. As I said, Southern Circle is definitely going to catch a lot of teams off guard. And this is exactly what's happening. You can see the disbalance.
Well, certainly the disbalance is there. At the same time, 7th Element, talking about this team as well, they have not been having the best of the time, but looks like they have a first blood scenario where Tokosaurus out in the open has been taken down by the players of 4. He was pretty much handicapped. He had no weapon, nothing at all. He just came for the vehicle and now he paid the price.
Prize being paid. As 4MV, even they themselves are crossing on over to the southern side. They do realize now this is where things are going to start to hit the fan soon enough. And for them to get back in the swing of things, one player's quite low. It's refused, but I don't think so it's going to be any problem. I don't see any team in their way, so they're going to have a smooth sailing all the way down south. But once again, the circle is just having that mysterious aura. We don't exactly know where the circle is going to be shifting towards. Huge question marks on my faces and even on the players' faces. But speaking for the teams right now, teams that are really on the struggling hand, man, they need to step things up, especially in the elimination bracket too. Even the teams that are currently in the mid-pack, you talk about teams like Aegon I8, you talk about NB Esports, whose run has been pretty good from the start of this PMPL. Now they're currently in the mid-pack, and 2 days have already passed by. You cannot afford, the room for error is quite thin.
Yeah, there is no room for error. At the same time, talking about Reggie side, this is one of those teams that had the highest elimination points in the PMPL Pakistan. So definitely they were the aggressive bunch of lads, but suddenly in South Asia, they have not been able to find their feet inside the game. Yes, in the league plays, we thought it could be the jitters, it could be the nerves or the pressure mounting on the shoulders. But Reggie side, other than Senok, they have not been able to showcase a good performance at all. So big pressure is definitely going to be there on the players of Reggie side. And 7th Element looks like in a very wrong territory. T24 OP is there, but he takes down Sus of Leo Esports out there and makes his presence felt. Now a 1v3 scenario. Can he survive this one, Neeraj?
Definitely, it's going to be quite a tough one considering your opponent has a DBS in the hand. Then it's next to impossible. Leo Esports, I mean, Liquid was taken down way too low. Even they lost out on one of the men, but not completely, just knocked out. So Leo, they've got things under control for now. And speaking about other teams, 7E, man, for them, they've only got that one last glimmer of hope. Not a good news. I mean, they've already been struggling throughout the entire grand finals, and now even the first game is going to start off with a struggle. Definitely a news that they were not looking for before. NV Esports, though, Mondo is stuck on the top. But he's trying to keep his position anonymous. Now definitely gives his position away. He might just be able to find a couple of knockouts for himself. And Mondo just chucking out some nades. Not able to find anyone just yet. Position compromised, and he's also getting pushed up. He needs to fight back, and he exactly does so. So many eliminations on the kill feed. Mondo able to get 2. With the DBS in the hand, and he's going to pretty much flush him off as quick as possible. Another man in the front, but Mondo's got way too many people just trying to take him down. 10-10 is the man who's going to be able to seal the deal onto him. NB Esports, a 3-on-1 scenario where 10-10 doesn't exactly know where he's going to get peeked from. Too many players peeking out from a lot of angles, and he gets dealt with. One more to go in the name of Goku, and I'm pretty sure he's going to fall down as well.
Quantum Rage, an early elimination. That has been a trouble for the players of Quantum Rage. NB Esports and Quantum Rage, they were both trying to transition inside the circle from the eastern front where they both collided into each other. And NB Esports, we know what sort of aggression this team brings. On the other side, Quantum Rage, they were really struggling. They were not able to find their confidence. Yes, in few of the games yesterday, Quantum Rage did showcase good performance, but other than that, Quantum Rage, they have been completely missing out. And NB Esports, well, they've always been an impressive bunch of lads. This is one of the team that used to dominate in the league plays in few of the games, getting those double-digit finishes. They even came very close to becoming the champion of PMPL South Asia as well. So yes, definitely NB Esports is one of the team we need to look out for. They can definitely give strong competition and come in top 5. And day number 3 is the day which they are waiting for.
Day number 3, and currently we are in that. Let's see what they're able to pull it off over here. Considering Quantum Rage, they've already been eliminated, but it's just still the first game of the day. A lot more to go. 5 more to go. A decent amount of chances for you to try and recover inside today's day. And as I said, being in the mid-pack is definitely not going to be that favorable for yourself. You need to make sure you're going to be racking up a lot of kills in itself. And Quantum Rage is currently sitting on 11th spot, if I'm not wrong, with only 62 points in their pockets. So they need those elimination points and those placement points, that's for sure. Map text, though, a couple of players on the move, while the rest are going to find themselves in a different spot, but they're also getting chipped away with the blue zone. They need to move in quick.
and they're opting for a southern rotation. That is going to be an ideal and safe path considering so many rotations are coming from the northern front. At this time, the circle is going to be a military-based circle, and 4ME looks like they're already going for a bridge block, western bridge block, where Stalwarts, they're on the eastern bridge. So yes, surpassing the team of 4ME and Stalwarts Esports to transition inside the circle is not going to be an easy task, especially the way the cluster is forming or towards the western bridge where again XI8 are there, Magnus Esports are also there, and looks like Magnus, they're already picking up fire, and Zibian right in front of the players of Uzm, and Uz instantly takes Zibian down.
Yeah, shotgun in the hands of the player in the front. And that's where you see Uzum just trying to play around, not exactly pushing inside the house in itself. But finally now the players are going to start to pull out the shotguns as Zen is on the top. He's still trying to fight for his life, but eventually even he will fall down. Now they've taken over this compound. Magnus, they crumble down. Another player's knocked out in the front, and the last player of Magnus, he's on a run. He just dipped in the water, bailed on his teammate, doesn't care about anything. Now he needs to play for the placement points or whatever he can get in his hands. But Aegon I8, a clean way to get the compound on the hand, and now Fullock is also getting shot at from Leo. The chip damage is definitely there. Aegon I8, they've got a decent amount of meds lined up too, but that doesn't mean you're going to start to burn out of those.
Again, excited, they really need to find a way to move inside the circle, because with the presence of Leo Esports and 4MV on the other side of the bridge, is not going to be an easy task. On the other side, 7th Element and IHC, they're also locking horns with each other when Ashad has been found out, and with that, 7th Element also bids bye-bye on the 15th spot. Talking about again, excited played, still hunting and looking for the players of Magnus Esports, and for Magnus, it's kind of a fish in a barrel situation. They're pretty much handicapped, can't do anything. They can just hope and pray that the players of Againx I8 don't spot them, or maybe Leo Esports, they show on the doorsteps of Againx I8 so that Magnus can move inside the circle.
But at least Magnus, they were able to recover that fallen player. Back on his feet, Zibian. Things looking good, but still, they've got a big hurl in front of them. And Uzum is just going to keep tossing those nades in the water. Once again, another player falls down. Aegon I8, there's just, as I said, it's a huge hurdle for them to try and cross on over, and Aegon I8 is not going to let that go away. They know these are free elimination points, and they want those in the hands. Nades are being tossed on either side of the rock, not still able to find that sweet spot for themselves. Once again, this man gets chipped way too low, and barely is able to survive for now. And that's going to be 4MV East all the way on top of the bridge, just taking those shots. Soon enough, even he will be spotted. Look at East. How is he even able to see this far away? Uzum is going to duck in the back once again in the cover. Sandesh, on the other hand, is going to take a little bit of dig against the players of HV.
High voltage DC, talking about this particular team, day number 1 was entirely in their favor. The way they were able to rain death and destruction on day 1 was completely missing on day number 2, and it looks like they've already lost onto one of their players. Not a good news, and now they're trying to move inside the circle where the players of T2 can still do a lot more damage. They can still spot the players inside the water, and T2K, they are trying. At the same time, they do have information onto the players of NB Esports in the back lines. So it's not going to be an easy scenario for all these teams. On the other side, Againx I8, they are coming under heavy fire from the side of IHC Esports, and Blade is on a sliver of HP right now.
IHC you try to spring back in the action, but found nothing. Alex is on in smokes, and he's driving straight up on the top. And as I said, they're still taking a look, a little bit of fight against the players Leo. Sus was found and knocked out to IHC. As always, the classic one, that's what we like to see. The aggressive one, straight up just going against your enemies, not even caring about a thing, going for those elimination points, racking them up like it's nothing. Bites, making sure that the enemies aren't going to start to bite the dust in Leo. Even they're going to be quite unsettled. They're trying to find themselves a better spot over here underneath the bridge, and IHC still, they're making sure that Leo are going to face the maximum amount of issues if they are available on the top, and Godless falls down too. Unfortunate news for them, but Godless is recoverable. He's safe. No issues for him. Leo, on the other hand, they know they need to play this one safe and sound. They cannot even push it forward. But Slipknot is still trying to get on top of the bridge, and he will be successfully able to do so. But now Leo's job here is to make sure that IG are going to be held off at bay.
But the bad news is the blue is also closing in, and 4MV, they're also waiting on the other side of the bridge. It's not a good news for either of these teams. The grenade are being lobbed from the side of Slipknot, but no connection whatsoever. But Godless, he's been revived. He's again back inside the game, and IHC, they have to try it as a rotation. They have to transition inside the circle, but that's a big challenge. The new esports players are still over there, and Slipknot hiding, trying to find something, try to take down the players of IHC, and Zior in a close frontal battle, but Slipknot, can he find him? And Slipknot takes a jump, still safe, but for how long? On the other side of the map, we have DRS and Stalwarts also going up against each other, and looks like Stalwarts not in the best of the position, but Liquid finds a cheeky angle onto Alex, tried to take him down, but instead rather gets taken down, and Godless also on a very low HP, and Slipknot trying to find those pixels, and Godless, he has to patch himself up as soon as possible, but from the backlines, Demo comes in. Esports on the 14th spot, a bad news for Leos.
I'd see still players knocked out as Godless trying to go in the back, still making sure that he's going to be safe, at least for now. His teammates able to get the revive done. On the other hand, you've got another fight brewing up between 4NB and their opponents in the front. A bit too low. Isek trying to fight against TUF in the front, and eventually he will be able to make sure that his opponents are biting the dust. NB Esports, they come out on top. Nicely done, but two players are still knocked out. Fistboy on his way towards his teammates knows they need the backup. But still, NB Esports, at least for now, they've got the entire southern side of the zone in their hand, but they still need to make it in.
Maptex are doing right now. 4MV, they are on the win. This is what that has changed in the playstyle of 4MV. This time, yes, they do get the information rather than making a hasty rush, half-baked rush towards a team. They rather capitalize on the information and position themselves so that they can aim for the chicken dinner. This time, Refuse also has a vague idea about the players of Maptex Esports. The Valley could come under heavy fire, and he certainly takes a lot of damage, but now he's safe. At the same time, Refuse needs to be a bit careful and cautious about the position of NB Esports Fistboy.
Trying to pepper some shots in the front. Fistboy still safe. Man just driving in his whip in the Lambo, getting away from all the bullets and the danger. At least for now, though. Soon enough, they're going to run into a lot of trouble. All the hilltops, the high grounds contested, as you said. Yeah, the decision making from 4MV is incredible. They're trying to spread themselves as far away as possible, trying to get as much as map control in their hands. And currently, they're taking the entire left side of the zone in their hands so far. They've got a lot of map control secured, and look at this. NB Esports against Maptex, but unfortunately, Fistboy gets ran over by Wally. Definitely a little bit of embarrassing moment for them, but Maptex, even they themselves, they've got a lot of bodies that are still knocked down, crawling for help. Wally in the back is way too low, looking to patch himself up. MG3 in the hands of Mondo, and he's going to make sure that he's putting the final nails in the coffin for the players of Maptex. A good nade, going to catch Baron, perfectly done. Mondo, this man's accuracy is on the point today. And now looking to mow down the lawn in the front. Wally's still able to make it away safe for now. The buggy has took too many bullets on himself, and Wally knows it's probably next to impossible to recover his teammate Baron. He needs to play in the back end safe.
Oh, Mondo, this guy is again back in the action. He was able to clutch so many times during the PMPL SA and in the league plays. He was so many times the MVP as well. And NB Esports, finally they have been able to find their feet, and Mondo is still trying to find Bali, who has a good compound to his name and a good hard cover. But the bad news is the circle has taken a northern shift, and Maptex and NB, they need to make those rotation. But somehow 4MB again in a good spot, Stalwarts in the epicenter. At the same time, T2K also, they're holding on to the ridge line, the short line. They do have position, but Valley, oh, Monto with that big weapon is still hunting for him, and Valley in a 1v3 scenario right now.
Oh, he just dips away. Doesn't want to fight it. He just runs away. He's going to give away the compound. NB Esports securing another compound and a solid cover for themselves, but still, they need to make it inside the circle. A huge bad news, though. IHC, they try to get back in the swing of things, but unfortunately, while doing so, they were catching too much damage. They were also outside the zone in the blue, and the wall of death kept on chipping away onto them, while the teams in the front made sure that they're also taking down a couple of enemies. Now IHC, they've only got Demo alive. Not a good news. I even thought that they have a pretty good spot for themselves where they can rotate from, but even they've been eliminated from the game. And look at DRS trying to sneak away through the smokes, but unfortunately, you've still got a man like KVI who's got Sky, who's got his eyes in the front against DRS, and yeah, the damage is way too much. They're getting chipped away, and Sky's just peppering it away with the Mini 14 while his teammates are spraying it through with the M416.
Viper, although not too many bullets on the Scorel, still trying to find Delta over there. He's going to run out of the bullets over there and eliminate Crew. Well, they do have information onto the plus of DRS, but right now they have the complete eastern periphery control. They do have good ridges to work around with, and let me tell you, Eliminate Crew was one of the team that in PMPL South Asia, they got back-to-back 3 chicken dinners for themselves. They are definitely capable and refuse with a vehicle run over. Takes down Demo, the last man from the side of IHC, and now only 8 teams left with 22 players remaining, and suddenly 4MV again in the best of the spot with 7 LMs of their own, and Valley and me Esports, they're not going to spare Valley at all. Finally finds him, the poor lad, and Maplex Esports, they bid bye-bye on the 8th spot.
Wally out, and NB Esports once again, they were just on the prowl for this man. They had the trail of Wally, knew exactly where he was, and he got hunted down once again. DRS, they themselves, they're fighting their own different war, man. Not able to get out of the danger zone so far. Even Killer by T, way too low for comfort. Gonna find himself a little edge, a little ridge, where he's gonna try to patch himself up. But you've got a team like Stalwart Esports just dying you out, just trying to take you down. Those bullets are gonna pierce through your armor and shred you apart. The bullets of pain definitely are quite tough. But now, Illuminate Crew, even they're right behind the players of Stalwart Esports. Soon enough, Stalwart, they're going to find themselves in a bit of awkward spot. Illuminate Crew are going to start to look over them. But T2K, for now, they're just trying to scoop anything that's going to fall in their court.
With a split that is coming from the side of T2K, not the best position right now, because they are susceptible to those third parties that can come either from Stalwarts or either from 4MV, because 4MV, they are on a hunting spree right now. Jane, the first glimpse is there, and Novax is quick to retaliate, takes hefty HP out of him, but somehow he survived.
It off here. On a scout of the wall business, as we've still got another fighting for his life in the water lines, while the wall of death is chipping away onto him. Next to impossible to survive, and finally Apex is going to seal the deal and take care of business, as we've still got another player from T2K in the water line. Sandesh all by himself behind that boat, next to impossible to make it away. As I said, Mondo, there was a little split for NB Esports, and now Mondo being caught off guard all by himself, next to impossible to get the resurrection on the fallen player. And 4MV, they're going to push up and get the confirmation, but doing so, refuse is quite low, so he needs to take things cautiously.
Well, from the backlines, the remaining players of NB Esports are providing the necessary cover fire, but it's not going to be enough. Like you said, it's almost impossible to go for the race on Mondo, and finally the finish point is there. But Stalwarts, they're also coming under heavy fire from the side of NB Esports, where second fist, where all they have is a little wooden shack to the cover. Not enough, but still something to work around with. At the same time, they don't have too many first aids as well. The medkits, the resources are not enough in the hands of Stalwart Esports, so they have to be the cautious one. On the other side, we do have a knock onto one player from Stalwarts, where 4MV looks like they are looking for the players of Illuminate Crew. The double-edged sword, the smoke is there, giving the information of the players of Illuminate Crew right away to east. But he's not going to overcome it, but a perfect grenade from Sky takes down Jane.
Things are now starting to heat up a little bit too much. As Illuminate Crew, they're going to find a clear line of sight on the players of 4MV. And first knock is already found. Viper, he's low himself, but he's got a solid cover in front of him. But still, the main objective is going to be not to trip over your own shoelaces. You need to make sure that your surroundings are clear. And by that, I mean Sandesh is still on the right side, and this man is a venomous snake. He can strike whenever he gets a chance to. I8, now they're subtracted over here. They've got a little split for themselves. It's a 3-1. And all the three players on the right side, they're a little bit tagged up. Should patch himself up. NB Esports, they lose out on another player, and they're in quite an awkward spot. They need to make it on the other side of the road. For Fist Boy, it's going to be a miraculous play if he's able to execute that. For MB, things could be a little bit out of comfort for them, but they're able to retaliate back and make sure that the opponent is now going to be in a little bit more misery. Smoke's thrown over. Nova wants to get the res there, and will probably be able to do so. But look at Stalwart Esports. They're now in the prime position inside the next circle.
Oh, they are. At the same time, they are also going to grab so much attention from all the remaining teams. That is where they have to be the cautious one. On the other side, 4MV, they are picking individual fights. That is going to work in their favor, but the cover is not there. All they have is a little Dacia for the hard cover, and the player in the water, T2K Sandesh, can do a lot of damage towards the side of 4MV if they're not the cautious ones. At the same time, Fist Boy trying to pull off a miraculous play, but that won't be allowed as Nirzet puts an end to him. And with that, NB Esports also bids bye-bye after having a very hard-racked game. And tops from the angles crossed down Sky. And Sky was trying to move inside the safety, but unfortunately, he has been taken down.
Told you, they've got the prime spot in their hands. Now it's going to be tough to take down the Stalwart Esports. And oh boy, right in the pregame segment, we had this entire conversation. I said Stalwart Esports were called at one time the gods of South Asia, and I guess the gods are returned to rule the kingdom. As we've got Stalwart Esports right in the smack center of this next circle. You've got 4 Miracle Vibes trying to make their way inside, trying to breach their way in, sweeping anyone that stands in their path. But the biggest thorn in the way is going to be Stalwart Esports. And for them to deal with Stalwart Esports, they will first need to make sure that Illuminate Crew is being taken out of the game, but Stalwart Esports are taking things, or making things a little bit more light for the opponents. You've got another man from Stalwart just trying to drive around, gather any sort of information. And that was action. He was not able to get a lot of those, but they at least have a rough idea of where exactly 4 Miracle Vibes are. And look at the separation they're bringing up. Apex all the way on the left, while the rest 3 are on the right. And Stalwart Esports, they might just be pinned in that center position.
The Goliaths versus Goliaths from the Mongolian region. Who is going to get a chicken dinner for themselves? The frags are definitely in the favor of 4MB. 13 frags. They were raining death and destruction in this particular angle. On the other side, like you said, Stalwarts, they do have a good compound, good building, hard cover to their name. But yes, 4MB, they are trying to surround the flank angle that has been created by Apex. Has already been watched by the players of Stalwart Esports, so they need to resort to the plan B if they want to take down the entirety of Stalwarts, because they are not coming out in the open whatsoever.
At the situation, and the Opal is going to be shifting on Opal. Need to find a cure to that. To fall over on with your own.
And what they have to do is just hold on to the angles perfectly, not come out in the open, because very risky play. If Stalwarts lose action or any more player, 4M will directly charge in towards the compound because the numbers advantage won't be there. But finally, Apex has been taken down, and the flank angle which the 4MV players were trying to create has been nullified. Now it's a 3v3 scenario. Stalwarts can still win this one.
As I said, the spread not working out, and Stalwart Esports action played that perfectly, drove around inside a vehicle, got Apex's position compromised, and then Stalwart Esports dealt with that issue so nicely. But I gotta say one thing, the teams have definitely went through a huge state of metamorphosis. They're looking fantastic as ever before. As 4 Miracle Vibes, action way too low for comfort, but is still able to stay alive for now. Falls back, goes for the heals on himself, and will be able to patch himself up. As now the circle is starting to be a huge key issue for both these teams. Stalwart Esports, at least they've got a solid compounds for themselves. Smoke's tossed on over all across the field as reviews will be able to get a knockdown in the opponents. The MG3 is going to make sure that it's going to hurt their opponent as much as possible. Just shreds through the meat as now Nirzet knows that he's also getting pushed on over by the players of 4MV. But this nade is perfect. It finds Stock. Nicely done. Nirzed takes down another man. This man is a one-man army and will also take down the last man. Perfectly done. Stalwart Esports, they take it in the head. Great way to kick things off on the day 3. Though, I mean, TDK is trying to pepper some shots on over, hoping that maybe a couple of lucky bullets connection can be found. But Zibian is still alive in the back of that ridge, trying to play for his life. His teammate, live MGS, is just trying to fall back and play for his life now.
Like the circle. In the process of Chocosaurus, looks like the vehicle has taken a certain damage, but not enough to take down the players.
TDK, they really try to take the fight early on against Magnus. They told TDK, and now TDK, they've already lost out on the player this early off. Big hurdle for TDK to get on over. Magnus, they're losing.
It's a battle of the grenades. Nades being flung over from both the directions, and Avenger on a sliver of HP. One grenade, perfect grenade from the side of H2SO4 can take down Avenger over there, but he has patched himself up. The smokes are there. TUF, they do have the position advantage. On the other side, Thor gets taken down by a perfect flank angle, which was created by Noki, and instant confirmation has been made. This is the moment where Avenger can push a little further, but Noki comes in, takes down M7. Suddenly the tables have turned, and Reggie's side, they're leading the charge, and H2SO4 also gets taken down. Now only Jokerster remains in the back lines. The trades are being made. Avenger is down, but the revival can't be made because it's a close frontal battle. But Jokerster comes in with a DBS right on the face of Noki, deals with him. Now Reggie's side left with only 2 players. A 1v2 scenario for the players of TUF. Jokerster still hiding.
DBS in the hands, in the close quarter, it's going to be a deadly one, so you need to make sure you're having your personal distance against the opponent. Joker, way too low, but the nade's going to land perfectly on one of the players in the opponent. Regicide Russian's way too low, but still, it's not going to matter. The cover fire's there from the back as Vaz is going to put the final nail in the coffin. TUF eliminated from the game, perfectly done from Regicide. Still, we did see the circle shift.
East finds a knock.
One of these late game rotations. I mean, control of
To develop some opening on
for themselves, struggling. And Stalwart Esports, they're just going to keep on peppering it away. They're not going to let Quantum Rage get away that easily. There's a spots out the vehicle getting away, but he realizes it's going to be quite a tough one to find himself that piece of cake. So he's just going to let him.
one player from the moving vehicle, but on the other side, high voltage, they have opened things up against Illuminate Crew, where very crucial if it goes towards it.
And then they've also got life for NB Esports, and Rig was able to shut down both those players in the front. What a savior! Belts under part. Rig is right in between. Not a huge fan of this position before now. TDK against NB Esports. Finally, this fight, but this battle is going to break down as Siyok and Sandesh, they fall apart. Rig, the only man to go, but the MG3 is way too strong. The fire rate of this weapon is going to shred the opponents apart as TDK, they get themselves under control. They get this situation under control. Fist Boy, the last glimmer of hope alive for NB Esports, and Rig was able to shut down both those players in the front. What a savior!
Definitely, Rig has saved the day. Now the players of T2K are again back in the form, but this grenade can be so deadly for the players of NB Esports if lobbed to the perfection. But unfortunately, the projectile is making, the rescue mission is going on, and this is a moment when T2K, they have to strike if they want to win this outnumbered fight. But the retaliation grenades are also being flung over by Mondo as Fist Boy is going for the raise onto Sek. This is a battle of 2 grenades. And T2K, they could have been eliminated. This time Mondo was so very close.
Yeah. So Sandesh do see Illuminate Crew as well, again by another team in the front lines. Too many fights happening at the same time. And this is going to happen as the circle is going to shrink even. But still, teams, they're just playing it slow, and party might just be attracted.
So if they manage to position the placement points, that is why we are seeing the slow backlines. Demo comes in and deals with him. 7th element, again a bad start coming in, something that is consistent with the players of 7th element. They really need to figure out what is happening wrong on the other side. IHC, they're going to be pretty happy. Right in the nick of time, Alex has been saved, and 40 feet points in the favor of team IHC. At the same time, IHC and Regicide, they are making similar rotation from northern front, but looks like a blessing in disguise comes for IHC as stalwarts. They are dealing with the players of Regicide. One knock already being made. But Lizette is trying to watch his 6 because from the back...
Got action peppering down. Got an awkward situation. It will pierce through. As we've got IHC in the front, now they're finally starting to get, or at least break down the fight against their opponents. Zol is way too low, and also he will be taken down as IHC, even they're catching a little bit of return fire onto themselves. Godless as well, trying to fight against the players of Leo, but this fight is getting a little bit too awkward and out of hand for both these teams. They've taken equal amount of damage onto each other. Sus is still alive on the opposite side, trying to toss some nades on over, deal a little bit more damage on the players of IHC. And as you can see, Demo is the last man alive, the final glimmer of hope. Leo, now they're having a huge man advantage. It's a 2-on-1 scenario. Slipknot could have been the casualty, was way too close for comfort. And finally, Leo, they wipe out the entire existence of IHC. And IHC, they're really not able to win these fights.
That has been a problem since a very long time. Since the start of the grand finals, IHC losing those 4v4 battles. They need to work on them. On the other side, Leo, well, they have redeemed themselves. High voltage reset this time. They do have a certain height advantage onto the plus of 4MV. And 4MV. Dog, the grenadier from the low ground, is trying to find some sort of connection. At the same time, clearing the path. Checking place on the information. They can grab. It's a northern shift. The rotations are going to be so tricky for all these teams. Having a descent journey is going to be so difficult for the players of high voltage DC. But if the circle takes a southern shift, I'm very sure high voltage and 4MV, they are going to be pretty happy. But for now, TRS, they need to be the cautious ones, and so do the players of Illuminate crew, because high voltage, they are in death and destruction. Heavy fire is coming towards the side of Illuminate crew, where Nova X on a sliver of HP. He really needs to patch himself up. At the same time, from the backlines, Matrix Valley can also do a lot of damage.
Classic high voltage, opting out for the high ground as always. And then just raining down death and destruction is on your opponent. But you asked me a question, if the circle shifts up north, well, I mean, yeah, it will be a tough journey for teams to make it inside the circle, but more tougher than that would be to find yourself a cover. Before now, the circle is just going to shift right in the center. It's not going to go north, it's not going to go south in any other directions. It's just going to center on up a little bit more. Fed Bay. TD vicinity, a big problem for
high voltage GC. The confirmation now, only 11 teams left. Stalwarts also coming under heavy fire, but NBS wants Rondo with a perfect grenade takes on not just 1, 2 players of Illuminate crew. The entirety has been wiped out.
Interesting. TDK being dealt with. But as Wally's the last man alive, burning torch still, and even he's getting pushed on up by the players. Leo and looking Liquid pushed up so close, up close and personal. He wanted to, but Liquid gets dealt with. He caught a little bit of bullets on himself. DRS knows that Wally's right inside the compound. DRS will probably try to sneak in and aid as they do. The players dealt with. Maptex being taken out off this game. A lot of big teams are taking massive hits.
But no connect.
Sort of connections just yet. High voltage still on top of the high ground. They've got the high voltage and 3 players alive. Look at Jiggle just waiting for anyone to step in his crosser, at least in the line of sight, so you can mow him down with the spray. With the signature M416. Assassin, unfortunately, though, he's almost about to burn out of those armors. Even the helmet and the vest. And once those are broken, Assassin will be quite vulnerable to a lot of damage. So even high voltage, they need to be a cautious bunch of lads. The circle once again is going to shift on over right in the center. That means the teams that are currently on the edge for Miracle Vibes. And now you've got Jiggle in the back lines. Just jiggling around. His position's compromised. So high voltage, now they know. As Jiggle's position's known, they will need to pounce on their opponents as quick as possible. Straight up, they just draw out the buggy as they run on over Mondo, and that's going to be it for NB Esports. High voltage, a clean sweep on the opponents. As I said, they need to make it inside the circle quickly enough, but then you've got team like Aegon Ayat who sniff the blood, who know there was an entire fight going on right next to them, and they want a third party and take advantage and get all the elimination points secured, as they're also going to run over their opponents.
For MV, they have been dealt with an even high voltage DC after having a very good run. They have been taken out from the lobby. 5 teams, 17 players remaining, and DRS, they can have a very good victory, if not victory, a very good run. 4 defeat points already in their favor. And DRS, like I said, they have always been the strategic team. They never go for the unnecessary aggression. But this can be a game for the players of Stalwarts to lose. Look at the position. Yes, they don't have a good hard cover, but they have the majority of the real estate under their control. At the same time, Quantum Rage, he has been dealt by tops with those mini shots. Instant confirmation is there. Oh, the confirmation point has been stolen by Leos over there. Stalwarts are not going to be happy at all.
It's all across the board. We're not all over. And for now, it's against DRS as Killer YT's tossing the nade on over against his opponents, and he's also getting chipped up quite low. But those nades are at least able to find the sweet spots and take down the opponents. Another nade tossed on over. Killer YT doing a phenomenal job holding on to this compound. Also pulls out a shotgun in the close range, but it's a double barrel. You're not going to have a lot of bullets or shotgun shells inside the magazine. You'll need to make it count. And Killer YT gets knocked out perfectly. Played by Blade. Aegon I, they need to make some quick moves. They will need to make some quick hassles as Blade's trying to push on up against the enemies. He knows he doesn't have a lot of time left over. His team needs to take the area control as quickly as possible, because if this fight extends, there's a high chance the teams will be gathering, or at least they will be gathering a lot of attention onto themselves. But eventually, Aegon I, they take the area control in their hands.
DRS big blunders were made from their side. On the other side, Stalwarts, they managed to annihilate the entirety of Quantum Rage, and now Stalwarts are there, rules all by himself, having a little small building for a hard cover. Again, excited, they were the impressive ones, the way they dealt with the players of DRS, but so many mistakes were made by the players of DRS onto the opponents. They have exact idea about the players of Leo, but I'm worried about rules. The
exact moment Stalwart Esports was waiting. A couple of openings again. There's a couple of players in the front lines in the name of Leo, and you need to watch out from those, as Seuss is still trying to find those sweet spot. Eventually does. There's it found, but he ignores the left lines, and this is where IC is able to retaliate. Bag a good trade from the side of Stalwart Esports. Even the wall of death is now going to start to close on over, and Slipknot is the last man alive from Leo. Stalwart Esports, as I said, the stars are aligned. Even their opponents, For Miracle Vibes, which are in the first spot in the overall rankings, they've been taken out quite early off inside the game. That means this is a chance for Stalwart Esports to close on up the gap in the overall rankings if they do win this game out. But Aegon I, they're proven out to be a huge thorn in the way for Stalwart and their victory. But eventually, as they take down Uzum, now they've only got one more enemy to go in the name of Blade, and even he falls down to the wall of death. Exactly starting to happen.
Ooh, in with fire and action. There you go.
Yeah.
This is again one of those outcomes that you would not want to possibly see if you are a Stalwarts fan. Of course, tried to go in for that early rotation, and seems like they got overwhelmed. Losing out on action is like dropping out of your primary assaulter, and that's gonna hurt Stalwarts in the tournament. So see anybody nearby him,
oh no,
come and get the rest. But Falak, I see, just from the sidelines, trim him off, and yeah, he lies down on the ground.
They're trying to make it back to the safety, but now I8, they're going to meet against the players of High Voltage. Once again, this team is able to get some sort of succession in their hands. Jiggle instantly falling back after he tastes that sweet blood. And Aegon I outside the game. Early exit for that team. We were talking about this team, and Eagles and teams is already starting to move inside the circle. IC2 looking to take a couple of shots on the opponents. They know there's at least a couple of players in the front lines, and that is in the name of TUF. Still trying to find that last man surviving.
Oh, certainly. And at this point, you know, where we are at for Miracle Vibes, might just take a few pot shots. Did indeed connect this time around as Jiggle lies down on his knees. As High Voltage DC, they need to cut their losses and make a quick escape out of there. But seems like for Miracle Vibes, they're hunting for blood. Prowling, chasing down the players. Assassin might just be next as he steps out of his buggy. decides against taking shots and will eventually focus on, and they cannot just instantly do something like Starwood did. But hold on, we've got another fight. It is going to be TUF taking on Illuminate crew.
Oh, and you can see I8 instantly just pushing themselves in the defensive stance. But they're also catching a bit of hurt from the back lines, and it's IHC once again. This team is just thirsty for those third-party actions, and TUF getting helped on over once again. Luckily enough for them, that IHC's got their backs unknowingly. And TUF, they're going to be thanking IHC, that's for sure. But somewhere on the other side of the map, you see another fight proven up between TDK and Quantum Rage, if I'm not wrong, where Siog is just tossing on the nade on the top of their opponents.
A lot of issues. It's PMGC #2, and suddenly over here, they're fighting for mere 5th or 6th spot. What a mighty fall has it been for the Giants.
But Fixes, let's be honest, we have seen some sort of like a little change in the PMPLs, right? Especially when it's a slot for PMWI. We have seen different results. And then when it's a slot or when it's a run for the PMGC, things have been quite different sometimes. Teams, we've seen some different winners, and this is really starting to boggle my mind. This is exactly the same thing happened last year as well. The team that we expected to be there or to be at the top in the PMWI were not really able to perform that great, and then in the PMGC they were certainly able to perform to the limits.
You know, there are a lot of factors involved in a team's performance, right? Right from how their mental fortitude is, and it's just about, again, at the very end, at the very core, it's in the world of PUBG Mobile. It sometimes also comes down to luck. If the circle favors, where it is going to be Zyol who gets the knock, and the finish is going to be done really soon. As IHC look overtaking the spot of the King of the Hills. As one after the other, they're taking down bodies and forward. As for Miracle Vibes could just be next on their radar. As one of their players already being dealt with. As Mabitex just chime in. As Leona takes a quick knock on Zyol. And this is the cue where for Miracle Vibes, they're going to make their moves. They realize that IHC, they're in a world of hurt. Zyol needs their res. And this is the time where they could just, clinch in a one spot around, the top of the hills and maybe do some damage. But Noki was watching every single maneuver, and he was there to cut it off.
Nicely done. 4 Miracle Vibes. Look at East. All by himself, still knocked out. Seems pretty unrecoverable, to be honest. I'd see they're catching a lot of hurt onto themselves. And somehow the player's able to make it out alive, at least for now. 4 Miracle Vibes, they find themselves in quite an awkward situation, barely on the edge off the safe zone. Oh, the Molotov and top even from the back. This man's able to shut them down. 4 Miracle Vibes, as I said, an awkward position, not working out for them, and they fall down, they fall apart. Not a good news considering they're almost about to lose out on their first spot. They needed to stay alive. This game meant a lot for them, but Circle screwed up a lot of things for them.
Oh, it certainly did. And this is one of the circles that we can say is pretty uncommon, if not rare, but I'm enjoying this. It's kind of bringing that fresh breath of air inside the lobby. You know, I was done and I was kind of bored of seeing all those certain circles, those Katka ones. Yes, Niam 1 might just stir things up a bit, which it already has. You know, the big favorites are being taken down early. IHC still down with their onslaught. High Voltage DC could be next up on their hit list, as Prabeen has shown himself. As Godless just cooks the grenade and will throw it his direction. Connects. As now, High Voltage DC, they are going astray, completely looking distraught as Assassin comes chiming in to aid Prabeen. But that does not work out, as Godless is instantly cooked up another one. Will lob it as at his direction, and there you go.
What?
Zyol getting the knock as Malik just rolling under the flames. And that marks the end for High Voltage DC. I do not know what was going on in their heads, but surely they aren't right.
Yeah, they were like, flip it, we don't care anymore. And Malik is just like, all right, I'm going to add the cherry on top of that push. And man just straight up yeets himself inside the... we've got Leo.
For sure. I mean, at this point, Leo really does have a prime position, but Mabitex, like you said, is just around the cliffs and on the precipice for TUF. A warming interest in
points if they're able to successfully get their line of sights on the opponents, and that's what they're trying to do. They're also trying to push on up against the enemies, as I'd see they're getting peppered and chipped away. with quite a lot of HP. Volley in the close quarters, trying to deal a lot of damage in the opponents. Also tosses on a nade, and the nade's not going to be able to find the exact mark, but Volley, instead, he catches a lot of damage onto himself, realizes even the wall of death is now starting to close on up, so Volley needs to reposition himself quickly enough. Maptex, they still do have the high ground advantage. This is something that has given them a lot of vital information.
Oh, indeed it has. You know, at this moment, see what can they make out of it. Leona, another interesting prospect as DRS, one after the other, they're just wiping the floor, taking down teams for good, and seems like they want to get a chicken dinner for themselves. At this point, just playing around the southern edges, Maptex still find themselves in a pretty good spot. Sparran, locked and loaded, he's got his eyes set, has that aided
You wish you got a vehicles. Backlines. Interesting stuff spread in between them.
Oh, now this is ready for DRS. They've been enjoying their sweet position around the edges of Yasnaya. And as we know, these circles kind of tend to get out of the city. And these teams are having a tough time dealing with that. As Nizet shouts some good amount of damage, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna patch himself up as Tops. He's also fallen down. Starward, slowly but surely starting to lose out on numbers as IHC, they're adamant, they're determined, they want to take this fight against Leo Esports and would want to take this objective for themselves, pick that good spot, and they enjoy some cover as a grenade has been lobbed over at Liquid's direction as IHC just making sure they got the backline secured as Liquid. He's making his move. He does not want to be a part of this.
Liquid trying to go and try to be a huge point of discomfort for IHC. IHC, the fans are definitely going to be quite surprised. Oh no.
Aww.
As soon as I say that.
Seems to have been cursed over here. But, you know, this is something that IHC as Timo to patch himself up as Godless comes into the aid of his fallen teammate over there. But right now, the circle seems to be favoring the lads of IHC. And, you know, after scoffing at them for so long, seems like this chicken wanting to kind of go in for a lot of kills. Seems like if Godless sort of manifests his past demon. And IHC, this is now their game to lose.
Nice.
Oh, I was about to say you can never count out Stalwart Esports, but then that happens. And they just get counted outside the game. Still a decent ending for that team. Third spot, consistency carried on forward. The momentum is still swinging for Stalwart Esports. As you said, there's a high chance they've probably taken on over the opponents. And they're probably going to be holding. They've got 4 players alive in each side. And then you've got IHC 2 in their hands. And so far, it seems like that.
For sure. I mean, at this point, look at Maptex. They're kind of scattered apart, but the worst part is that they're on the lower grounds, and that sort of enables the players of IHC to just go ham at their direction. As you can see, those grens are being flung over. Leona, he is a dead man walking. For sure. Still somehow finds that little room. You can see, still trying to find the players. Find that slight angle, maybe thread the needle over there. As Godless kind of going a little sharp on the edges over there, trying to find Leona maybe, as Maptex still getting another finish over there, but Alex has been traded off.
Oh, this is a tough one to recover from for Maptex. There's a wall of death in the back, but at least the traits, they're exactly on the point. It's a 2-on-2 scenario now, where I'd see they've got the 2 of their own, Zal and Demo, and 2 to deal with in the front. Pulls out the Groza, trying to do something over here. At least that one single frag can change the entire course of this fight. And this is what Demo's here to find out. Leona way too close for comfort, trying to get up close and personal. Demo repositions himself, but gets spotted doing so. And Zal trying to get the trade, but Maptex, they play that perfectly. Trade game playing out in their favor. And Maptex, they get a chicken dinner in their hand. As I said, I wanted to be the top 5, a little bit more closer, and that's what they're here to pull out.
Oh, certainly a chicken dinner that we kind of did not expect, as you know, the players of IHC just took over that Mabtex kind of holding off really well towards the end. It was a perfect culmination of a nice defense and then followed by a good offense, as a result of which Mabtex have gotten them to the third spot. But for now, we are going to be continuing this discussion, but after this short little break.